Today we're headed down to Amish country in southern Indiana. We started a Facebook page called Small Town Saturday a couple of years ago to chronicle some of the day trips that we took together, where we would go to a small town within an hour or two's drive of our house. We would find a small town restaurant with good home cooking. We would look for antique shops to find new and interesting things that we maybe hadn't seen before and things we could use for decor and for our garden. And then we would look for some kind of specialty shop, maybe an ice cream shop or a place to get a malt. It's always good for Bob if we find a place with a banana milkshake, because that's one of his favorites. So I've always loved the Amish country. We lived near Mennonite towns in a lot of our time living in Missouri, and loved going to the bakeries and to their scratch and dent stores and just going and seeing all the beautiful things that they made, the furniture and the quilts and things like that. So we've been trying to go to Amish country for several years, but it just never works out around our anniversary or any other time to go. And when we created this Small Town Saturday, we didn't have any idea about YouTube and hadn't had any thoughts of starting a YouTube channel. But now that we've started it, we have decided that we want to incorporate that into it. So we decided that we were going to choose a town this weekend and go somewhere where we could find a small town cafe and do a little antiquing. And when we were looking, I found this small town of Montgomery, Indiana, and Gasthof Amish Village. So we decided to go there. So when I was doing some of the research, I found that they had a Valentine's special going on where you could get a room for the night, get 2 meals in their buffet restaurant, Amish food, oh yeah, and a free gift basket with some goodies from their bakery. And all of that would be included in an amazing rate. So I called to see if they had any availability, and we decided to leave on Friday and spend the night instead of just going up for the day tomorrow. We are headed down now. We woke up to around 20 degrees and snow blowing everywhere. The snow was not in the forecast, but it sure is beautiful. The flakes are kind of medium and they're just blowing all over. The snow is it's not packing, and it's not really getting deep. It's not covering the roads. The salt is doing a good job of keeping the roads clear and safe. So we are headed down now. We'll meet back up with you when we get there and check into our room, and we'll have lots of exciting things that we'll want to share with you this weekend. Thanks for coming along on our journey. See you soon. Bye. Hi everybody. We just got back from our trip to Amish country. We took a little overnight trip down to Montgomery, Indiana, to Gasthof's Amish Village. What a wonderful trip it was. I have always wanted to go to Amish country, been trying to get Bob to take me for years, but he always thought he would be bored and that it would just be a bunch of quilts and a bunch of walking around looking at things that don't interest him. I talked him into going. We were just going to go for the day to make a video and kind of show you what we do on our Small Town Saturday, where we just find a cafe and an antique store and some local specialty shop to video. And when we found this place, we realized they had a special going on where we could go for the night, stay in a motel, and get 2 free vouchers for their buffet. If you've not had Amish cooking, you are missing out.
So good.
We both grew up with country cooking, and We ate at home. We had meat, potatoes, and vegetables, or a starch. It was so good. They had everything you could imagine.
Buttermilk fried chicken was absolutely amazing. I couldn't stop eating it.
They had chicken and noodles. It happened to be seafood night on Friday, so they had shrimp, and they had fried fish, and they had baked fish. They had their fresh Amish bakery bread. We could not leave without coming home with a loaf of this for ourselves. They also had their famous apple butter. We got a few jars of that. I'm not a fan of apple butter, but my cohort here is crazy about apple butter. So he tries it everywhere we go. I don't know if you can see this real well. But this apple butter changed my opinion of apple butter forever. I believe that the difference is that they start with applesauce. Now, it's most likely applesauce that they have made and canned themselves, but we bought the cookbook so that we would know for sure. And sure enough, it says applesauce is how they start. So it's not as thick as others. They cook it until it falls apart is what they said. And it is divine on this bread. I just can't get enough of it. It's really, really good. So we came home with 2 jars of this. We also got some strawberry jam. They did not have this at the restaurant to try with the bread, so we have not tried it yet, and I'm really looking forward to that. They did have this peanut butter, I think they called it peanut butter spread, but I call it peanut butter fluff because it had, I believe, peanut butter and honey and marshmallow cream. It poured onto the bread and it was delicious. So we had that. They had a full salad bar with all of these freshly made Amish salads, like ham salad and different carrot salads and broccoli salads and things like that. They had one of my favorites, which is Watergate salad. If you don't know what that is, you'll probably have to look it up. But it's an old 70s recipe with pistachio pudding mix and Cool Whip and pineapple and nuts. They put marshmallows. I prefer mine with cottage cheese. It sounds crazy, but it's so good.
We call it green stuff.
We call it green stuff.
And we know what we're talking about.
I started making that around here for Thanksgiving about 2 years ago, and now my family asks when we're having the green stuff again. It's so good. They had that, and then they had a whole corner of desserts. I wish I had seen the desserts before I pigged out on all of this other food. I forgot to mention they had fresh mashed potatoes, white gravy, brown gravy, some of the best mac and cheese. They had corn and green beans cooked with ham. Oh, the food was amazing. The dessert corner had cobblers. They had cherry cobbler, blackberry cobbler. That's what I had. It was amazing. He had
it's like an apple crumb cake or apple crumb,
like a crumble.
pie.
He said it tasted like it had the crumble topping with oats and brown sugar, and he couldn't get enough. They also had cupcakes that we believe were miniatures of their cakes, and the one he got seemed to be like an Italian cream cake cupcake.
Oh, so
he
good.
said it was really good. They also had an ice cream machine, so you could get vanilla or chocolate or swirl soft serve to put on top of those hot cobblers. And they had cookies. They had a crazy amount of cookies. It was so good. The next day when we woke up, we went to their they have an antique store on property. They also have an upscale shop that sells, it's a barn, but they sell clothes and jewelry and purses and like personal care items that are really like a boutique type of merchandise. And they also had some expensive high-end antiques and frames and pictures and things like that that were just beautiful. So they really do cater to the folks who are looking for like a flea market-y antique type vibe, or the kind that are looking for a more upscale decor and things for their home. The actual flea market is closed, I believe they said until May, because they have no heat and it's a metal building. So it gets pretty drafty, and they said it wouldn't be safe for the guests to be there or for the people to be working all day. So we went into the antique shop, and it was kind of a bit of a flea market as well, but we found some neat things in there. I think the main two things that we bought there, we found this pitcher and wash basin, and I have been looking for one like this for a long time, but the ones that I found were bigger and I really didn't have anywhere to put them, and the tinier ones I found just didn't holler out to me. They didn't speak to me. But when I saw this, I just loved the country look of the sunflowers. I'm not sure if you can see that real well, but it's a creamy, milky white, kind of like an ironstone look to it. And then the basin, instead of being just a flat basin, it's actually got ridges that make it look like a flower. I just thought it was so unique, and the price was right. I think I paid $8 for it. And it's so pretty. I've already got a spot for it in my cabinet, and I just love it. I'm glad I waited. I like the scalloped edges around the pitcher. I'm not sure if you can see them from there, but it's dainty and delicate, but it's got that outdoorsy kind of rustic look to me with all of the sunflowers and things that are added. We really love our cast iron. And we found this Griswold number 3 sandwich size cast iron pan. It's stamped Erie 709, and it has the most beautiful finish on it. It is so well seasoned, and we are really excited. I did get it cleaned up, and we're ready to make some grilled cheese sandwiches on this thing. We have some different pieces of cast iron that we use on a daily basis. We keep our cast iron on the stove so that it's ready to go. We cook our spaghettis and sauces in it. This is a neat fact that I learned when my kids were little. I took some nutrition classes and was told that when you cook things like tomato sauce in an iron skillet, it actually helps to impart more iron into the tomato sauce and tomato paste than what is already in there. So you get a higher iron content from cooking in the cast iron skillet. So it gives you health benefits. It's easy to clean. I keep my cast iron clean with just hot water. I scrape it off with a pan scraper and then put hot water in it and wash it real good with that. I have not had to use soap in my cast iron, except for maybe when they've had something left in them and they have begun to rust a little bit. Then I wash them up real good with soap and water and re-season them with some oil, maybe bake them in the oven for a while. I try every once in a while as well to cook something like that uses a lot of oil, or to maybe fry up some French fries or fry some squash or something like that, so that the oil actually has a chance to sit in the pan and help to season it. And we really don't have much trouble with sticking. I'll have to show you. Sorry about that. I'll have to show you my cast iron pans in a different video and kind of give you some ideas for what we use them for. We're currently looking into purchasing a Dutch oven and maybe some other pieces so that we can cook more exclusively with our cast iron. You just can't beat it. We stopped using nonstick quite a few years ago because I didn't like the idea of the nonstick peeling off into our foods. Even when you use plastic serveware or when you would use wooden spoons, after a while it would still break off in there, and I don't like the idea of my family ingesting that. So this was a huge find for us. We looked it up online and we got a great deal, and we're very happy with that. We also, on the advice of the people that were working at the hotel, by the way, is a very modern hotel that is on the actual property there, with the restaurant, the antique shop, the barn, and then the flea market. It's all together. And the folks that were working at the hotel gave us some ideas of shops that we couldn't miss. We weren't able to hit all of them, so we're going to make another trip, but we did go up to the Missionary Barrel type store. They are a local thrift shop that takes donations and uses those donations to help people in other countries. They send whole containers of clothing and shoes and household goods to help people in third world countries. They also here locally and in their area support ministries like those that help young girls to get out of sex trafficking, to save them from that, and all other kinds of mission work. They have a whole board of things that they support, and we were thrilled to find it. So in that shop, I was told that the finds would be amazing, and I was floored, just to say the least. I found this, I think it's a planter. We're not quite sure. We're not sure what we're going to use it for, but I love the way that it's roughed up a little bit. I'm sure that it was purchased this way and not maybe handmade, but I liked it anyway. And we're going to put some kind of plant in it. They had an $18 sticker on it. And so I put it back on the shelf and then got up front and found that color sticker was half off. So I got this for $9. And as you can see, it's a pretty good size. It's a nice deep well. You could put a nice size plant in it. They had this bunch of ivy for $3. And so I just bought it for now to stuff in there. And I haven't really tried to fit it in, but it fills it up nicely for the moment. So that was one thing we found there. And then we found these salt and pepper shakers. They say 25th anniversary on them. They were 50 cents a piece. And we are working on year 27 and we didn't have any mementos from 25. So we just bought them. It's kind of a cute little thing we'll put in our display cabinet just as a memento. Probably wouldn't have gotten them if they were much more expensive, but you can't beat 50 cents. And then the last thing we found at that shop was this beautiful glass pitcher and these 4 juice glasses that go along with it. I'm not sure if you can see the design. It's very intricate and beautiful. They're so dainty and delicate. And the sticker says that they're handmade crystal and it says USSR. So they're made in Russia and they're just beautiful. The thought that they're handmade just kind of blew me away. But the most shocking thing was that they had 2 full sets. So 8 glasses and 2 pitchers. We only took one and left the other. But the full set of 5 pieces was $5.50. So we're planning on using it, but I'm going to also display it and use it in my cabinet. I think the light will catch it and it'll just be a beautiful addition. I also got a little candle, if you can see it there. It's a little battery operated candle, but it's got that primitive vibe that I love so much. And these are like $3 or $4, so I was thrilled to find it for 50 cents and it works. Yay! And then the last thing we haven't eaten. We picked up some cinnamon rolls and Bob will add some pictures of those so that you can drool a little bit with us. Their cinnamon rolls are baked fresh every day. And we met one of the family members who actually bakes those cinnamon rolls. He was working at the hotel and told us he was going over to make cinnamon rolls and he would make us a fresh batch to take home. So these cinnamon rolls were twice the height of a typical pie. They were bubbling out and over. You could see cinnamons and pecans cinnamon mixture and pecans everywhere. And the frosting that they put on them, it was amazing. They were still hot when we were getting ready to head home. And so he put the cinnamon rolls into a package and then gave us the side tub of frosting. By the time we got home, they were nice and cooled and Bob frosted them up. And we have shared with our kids and with some friends, but it has been impossible not to walk by that cake stand and take a piece every time we walk by. It's a good thing we don't live closer to Gasthof's. Yeah. So we bought that. We bought an apple pie. One of my friends said she would love to have Amish apple pie, so we brought one home. And we had dinner with them yesterday and we shared the apple pie. It was amazing. We saved a piece for our daughter, but other than that, that pie is history. Yeah. And we got another pie to eat here at home. This one is peach. Peach pie is a rarity, especially a good fresh baked peach pie. So I am really excited for this. It was kind of neat to see their case of all their pies They each had a different design on the top, and that was how they could tell which pie was which. The apple pie had a little cutout of apples. They had a raisin pie, and it was just cut out in the center so that you could see the raisins. They had blackberry pie, and then they had this peach pie and apple pie, and I feel like there was another one, but I can't remember which one. They had pecan pie.
Yes.
And they had rhubarb on the menu, but I didn't see any. I was interested to try that. I would love a good strawberry rhubarb pie, but maybe next time. So tonight, we're going to eat this along with some soup that we made, and I am really looking forward to warming this up and putting a nice big scoop of vanilla bean ice cream on top. I don't know if we can afford to buy a new wardrobe if we continue going to Amish country like we want to now. We'll have to limit it. It's a good thing that it's far enough away to keep us from going every day. But we just wanted to share with you some of the great finds we had. It was such fun. It was a total there and back 24-hour round trip, and we were amazed at all the things that we were able to squeeze in. The people were so kind. We also hit a discount grocery store while we were there. And if you've never been to an Amish or a Mennonite scratch and dent type grocery store, you are missing out. They have bulk flours and sugars and spices. They have fresh meat. We got some fresh hamburger meat from the local area that was packaged up. It was so good. We had some of it. We made some lasagna soup last night, and it was so good. And they also have, groceries. A lot of them, in fact, everything I got was in date and still marked significantly down. We came home with a whole trunk full of groceries.
Yeah.
And that was a highlight of our trip as well. I hope you've enjoyed coming along with us, just learning a little bit about our trip to the Gasthof Amish Village in Montgomery, Indiana. It's definitely a place you should put on your itinerary, and we know that you'll enjoy it as much as we did.
And if you enjoy more videos like our travels, if you enjoy woodworking, cooking, and anything along that lines, housework, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up and hit that bell icon. That way, when we upload a new video, we're going to try and keep these going every week. And we like to travel, so there'll be a lot of travel videos. So, till next time, she's Anna.
And he's Bob.
See you next time.
Bye.